Welcome, guys. What's up? So, I'm Sean Borto.
And I'm Azim.
And this is our first YouTube video. It's called Midnight Films, our channel's name. And we're gonna try, we are film students. So, we love watching, we are roommates and we watch films the whole day. So, we're just gonna open this channel to elucidate our thoughts about things that we have watched and try and review them. So, the recent show that we watched it's called Mare of Easttown. It stars Kate Winslet. It's an HBO Max series. So we're gonna talk about it. So Azim, why don't you go ahead?
So, Mare of Easttown focuses on a woman, a police detective named Mare Sheehan, who faces problems in both her personal life as well as her life as a detective. So her family life. So she has to investigate a murder case that has taken place in her hometown of Easttown. And over the course of her journey, she comes across dynamic characters who have connection to the case, and and what part they have played in in how the murder has taken place, or do they have any connection as to what led to the murder or build up to the murder.
What I personally like really about the plot is that generally movies I see are very much like thrillers. In movies are plot heavy, but shows are character heavy. But I mean, this show is very character heavy. We're gonna get into that, but the plot is also so well knit, and it's a very good thriller. Just the plot portion of it, so no spoilers, but if you in the finale episode, there's one small scene between Kate Winslet and um, this woman in the bathroom where Kate Winslet accuses her of having an affair with someone. Just it's like just a 20-second scene, but that binds the plot so well. So it's not just great character storytelling; it's brilliant plot progression and well, just the narrative of it. So that's what I really liked. I mean, most detective shows because it's a show, they focus so much on characters, they lose out a lot on plot. But this is also like a very engaging, it's a slow burn show, but the plots really well, really good. And suppose the show opens with a scene where an old couple calls mayor to solve a very problem, which might come across as a very petty problem, but in the finale you can understand how it binds together the whole thing. So yeah, and now moving to the second great point is definitely the characters. So for me, I think all the characters appealed a lot to me, but I think it has to be Kate Winslet's character. I think there's a professional arc and a personal arc. So I think the way the professional arc triggers the personal arc, so she has a very strong backstory and she had faced trauma, a lot of trauma, and how the professional success, if you want to call it, that helps her get over her personal obstacle. That for me was like a brilliant thing. And I think I really sympathized with Lord's character as well, and even Chiffon. And I really liked the character arc of forgetting her name, Drew's mother, the girl who plays Drew's mother. Like, she wants to take custody, but in the end, her realization with herself. So every character is very well written. Even the detective, Colin, I think. Colin Zabel.
Evan Peters, brilliant actor.
Even we're gonna get into performances now. But even Richard, he has a I mean, and it's not a very predictable show where everybody comes together in the end. So if you look at Richard and Kate's ending, it's very unpredictable.
Very unpredictable.
And even Chiffon and the girl she's dating, I think Becca.
Chiffon, not Becca. I think we forgot her name.
Yeah, she was dating, not on the show. So she was dating someone, and in the end, the way that relationship also ends, I mean, probably spoiler alert, they don't end up. They don't. They spoiler alert. They don't end up together. They don't end up together. But now you may ask why. but that says so much about Chiffon's character, that she stands up for herself, and she's like if I am in a relationship, I want this, and if you can't give me, then I'm sorry. I like if you can't be all in, I won't be all in. So it's not really that kind of a show where everything goes well in the end. There are a lot of conflicts which are left unresolved, and that really works because like not like we don't end up patching up with everyone in our life. There are people who like get out of our lives and we move on with it. So yeah, what is your take on characters?
Characters, each and every character, like you said, they're multidimensional. Most of them, you see a side to them, through dialogue, plus how they're giving off their backstory. You feel, you don't just you don't see them in their professional life, but you get to see each of these characters, like many of these characters, in their personal lives as well. Like Colin and his good relationship with his mother.
Yeah.
And Mare and her relationship with her children, grandchild Drew, and all these, how all these relationships in the town, how they are interconnected in a sort of way, like each person, they connect to another person. So it's like,
It's very intertwined.
very intertwined, so that's actually a very interesting thing in this show. You don't see it in a lot of shows, so that aspect alone in itself makes it very unique. So
And
and even the shots, the cinematography, and
yeah, we're gonna get in the technical parts later. So we both love the characters, but also like writing good characters on paper. On paper, it's a different thing, and then bringing it to a live is a like an actor's real like so. So the performances were really good. So why don't you start on what's your top two performances of this show?
Kate Winslet herself is very good performance, top performance. As Kate Winslet, she brings her dynamic range of acting to this role. All her characters in her movies and other shows, they feel very different. So this character feels also very different. Mare Sheehan, you really feel with her. You feel as if she's fucked around by the world a lot. There are people who don't give a shit about her. There are people who do give a shit about her, but they kind of end up misunderstanding her, And there are a lot of people who see her as like this big problem in their lives, because with the thing associated with her backstory, which essentially brings up this aura in her character, and you really relate to her character a lot. You see parts of yourself in her, and also Colin's another interesting character. Trying to be friends with Mare. How he's facing trouble, and then it's very interesting to see all these characters play out. Then you see through backstory, you feel bad for Drew's mother as well. I mean, even though she's not there in it much. Carrie, she's not there in it much. You still feel for her, because
and you need a great actor for that.
Exactly.
Like in such small number of scenes, you need make it.
You need a great actor. Yes, brilliant. Very hats off to the showrunner and all the creative team involved.
Also, he spoke about Colin. Spoiler alert: he dies. So there was something which happens before that. So again, spoiler alert: he. There's a romantic tension between him and Kate Winslet. So because he dies, it's not really couldn't be explored much. I would have loved to see how that went and how that would have affected her relationship with Richard. And I also really like the girl who played Laura. I think there's a couple of scenes in the finale. One with Kate Winslet in the car where she has an outburst, and then the final patch up. The two moods and the scenes come in a duration of I think 2 minutes in between them, and just shows how brilliant an actor she is and what range. And again, you have to look out for the kids on this show. They are such great actors. Now this I'm not gonna spoil for you. There are many kids. There's one character called Ryan. There's one character called who plays Ryan's sister. I'm forgetting her name. I'm sorry. Moira, and then there's Drew as well. So all the and even DJ, he's
cute baby. It's very interesting.
The kids were really great, and there's one kid out of this who stands out. This I'm not gonna spoil for you, but that kid like really blew it away with the performance. Like it's really really good. And even
Yeah.
like people with small roles, the chief of the police and everybody, they really, even Frank. And for you have to look out for Kate Winslet's mother. She's her comic
It's
timing
amazing.
is
Yes.
fantastic.
She brings a certain light to the show, you know.
Yeah, and then who plays Siobhan? I think there's one. She's brilliant, and there's one scene where she confronts her mother, about something that she saw, and she's like, "Why did I see it first? Why not you?" So everybody's performance is like
Yes.
really, really good. From Kate Winslet, who has the maximum screen time, to I think Carrie, who amongst the main characters has the least time. So everybody is fantastic. And now, like, moving on, like, let's talk about the technical aspects of it. So you want to like talk about cinematography, edit, color palette, set design, production design?
It's brilliant, you know. It fits with how the series is, you know, set in the town, East Town, you know. It has a very, you know, the colors used. You know, you see a lot of dark colors a lot most of the time compared to how you're seeing the light colors, you know. And even if there are light colors, you do see dark shades here and there because, you know, it's a show, it's a dark show, you know, darkness. There's a lot of darkness around the characters, a dark aura around the characters, you know, primarily Mare. You know, she has a traumatic, tragic, dark past, you know, which she really does not want to share with anyone. And you can see that in her room, the room she's sitting in. So there is, even if there is, you know, lights, right? There is still like a certain aura of darkness around her, you know, especially with, you
It's
know,
very dimly
the
lit.
light, dimly lit, you know, you can see her face, you know, so much
Yeah,
darkness.
and there's like a very beautiful blue color palette which has been used, like while we were watching, there were so many shots which we paused and went back 10 seconds just to see the shot. It looks so, and mind you, it's a fictional, there's nothing called East Town, okay? So like how they've created like a whole universe, a whole world, it's fascinating, man. And everything from costumes to hair and makeup and everything, cinematography,
Brilliant.
production design,
Yes.
everything is just on point. And lastly, it's time to end it. There's one segment we keep where we talk about something special about the show, and like this is something that we haven't discussed. So I'm going to speak first time. So I want to see his reaction to it. So it's a show where there's equal amount of thrill and personal drama. So in the thrill, so when like May's going and something big is about to happen, or some chase or some thrill moment, there's BGM like you will expect. There's background score which is escalating your emotions. But then there are scenes where she talks about personal conflict and personal trauma and all. And if you look carefully, hardly in any of the scenes there has been any score used. No score has been like, hardly it's been hardly any background score has been used. It's just only Foley sounds. So only background score has been used in the sequences where there's thrill. For the drama portion, they've mostly left it naked with ambient sound and all. And so they've not underlined anything. And the writing and the performances and everything is so good. Even without that, you feel the emotion. So I think that's one special thing that stood out for me for the show, from the show. So anything that you would like to add?
Same like what you said. Plus, you know, it's all the quiet moments, you know, in characters, you know, you
Yeah,
see
like there's a lot of
a
pauses.
lot of pauses and, you know, characters trying to reel in what they experience throughout the day and, you know, how it compares to us, right? Like after we have like a heavy day, you just want to sit down and just be quiet for some time, you know, get lost in your thoughts. So that's really interesting, you know. It allows that breathing space, you know. So you know you really feel like these characters are organic, they're very real, they are human as you can be. So that's actually one, you know, interesting thing, you know, we I took away from. So also one more is, you know, like how these characters, you know, they are, each of them, they want to play the blame game, you know. We see blame games here and there, you know, indirect ways, in a subtle way, or maybe even directly, you know, like some problem goes wrong with someone, they want to take it on another person. So it's basically very relatable to real life as well, you know. You know, that's, you know, like maybe, you know, say maybe I have a bad day and then I take out my anger on somebody else, and then, you know, they have a bad day. They take out their anger on me. They blame me for something maybe which I unknowingly did or maybe I didn't do. So we see all these things in the show. So that's actually pretty very interesting. That's why this show is really good, because you see elements of real life in real life, which is basically this show fiction.
And that's what makes a good show if you can relate it with your real life.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we would highly recommend you to watch Mare of Easttown. If you haven't watched it, it's 7 episodes, 1 hour each, so 7 hours. So if you haven't watched it, we would like ask you to please watch it. It's on Disney Plus Hotstar. Go watch Mare of Easttown, and it's a great show, and like it's worth giving 7 hours of your life. So yeah, so this was our first review. Do like let us know in the comments like how do you like it, where we went wrong, it's the first video, so
Give us feedback
and all. And if you like it, then do like
please
share
like
and
comment, share, subscribe to our channel.
Very cliche thing to say.
We'll bring
but,
more great reviews for you guys too.
Yeah. So like this is our first review. If you encourage us, we're going to continue with it. And I'm really sorry. General reviews are 5 minutes and all. We actually timed ourselves for 10 minutes, but we
kind of
on. Yeah, but like as we said,
because we had a lot to talk about. It's that kind of a show. We had a lot to talk about.
We are film students, and like it's very tough, like for us to like
very tough for us, to maintain a time, because you have so many things to share.
We can still talk 30 minutes more about the show, but I think people might now go and get bored. So like don't waste your time here. Go to Disney Plus Hotstar, watch the show. Yeah,
please.
So thank you guys, and keep spreading the love, and we're gonna see you on our next video. Thank you. Bye. Peace.